Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here, and you are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Welcome back to Big Mouth. You can keep this conversation going with me over on my Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and the extension of this channel, this insane channel, is over on my Instagram, which is Big Mouth. Lots of videos, not just about DC. Different things, and yes, a week after we heard Andy Serkis was in talks with Warner Brothers and Matt Reeves to play Alfred in Matt Reeves' The Batman, Matt Reeves actually confirmed it on his Twitter. I must say, I'm really loving how Matt Reeves is really teasing us, joking with us, the way he announced stuff. So follow, is it Matt Reeves LA or whatever it is? Look for Matt Reeves and you'll find him. Verified checkmark as well. Brilliant stuff. Anything you want to know about the Batman that's official, he will tell you. If he hasn't told you on his Twitter, not happening. Look, I loved Andy Serkis since The Lord of the Rings. This guy is multi-talented. Anyone who's bitching about this really knows nothing about the industry, about movies, TV, and storytelling. It's absolutely fantastic. But for Andy to be playing this character, we're going to see a lot of him. I think we're going to see a different Alfred, maybe one of those kind of more chiseled versions from the comics, more physical, definitely got some Secret Service history and things like that. So I'm really, really excited. Also, which I found out after I did yesterday's DCEU Daily, that really annoys me, by the way, gets up my goat. And I just didn't have the time yesterday to do a DCEU Extra. Sorry, subscribers, but Matt Reeves did some teasing again. He posted a picture of the original 1960s TV show Batman costume. Apparently, his Batman costume will be grey and blue. Have I got that right? Anyway, very exciting, but people are starting to bitch about this as well. This is what people do, isn't it, unfortunately? I don't want it to be campy. It's not going to be campy. Ages ago, he showed us like the front cover of Batman #1, right? The DC comic, right? The graphic novel, blah, blah, blah. So it's very similar to the 1960s Batman costume. I'm excited. We're actually getting a comic book accurate kind of look. And movie, that's what we want. We've never had that. Look, I don't think everything should be copied and pasted, right? But I think after having all these different interpretations of Batman that haven't been kind of anything like the comics, it's great to be getting this version. If you like the BVS costume, which I love, go and watch BVS. If you like the Burton costume, go and watch the Tim Burton movies. You know, they're out there. But to just repeat what's been done before is very boring. So I'm just so excited. January is the launch for filming and production. So again, I'm really, really pumped. Now, today's DCEU Daily is dedicated to the late Autumn Snyder, the daughter of Zack Snyder and Deborah Snyder. Why? I think we need to remember why we're doing this. Not only do I think we need to remember why we're doing this, but Zack wasn't just heinously thrown off his dream project, which he sweat blood and tears over. Something even more horrible happened to him. There's nothing worse than losing a child. I can only imagine that. I have 10 nephews and nieces. And if they did that to themselves, if they tragically took their own lives, I don't think I could ever come back from that. All the questions you must ask yourself. I've never seen them come out with bitterness or being twisted or anything like that. All I've ever seen is positivity. I've seen them come out thanking us, the fans, for backing them. What we're doing this week, and this is a great way to divert to that, and I will reserve a little segment at the end of this video to talk about Autumn a bit more deep, because I want to talk about her. I think it's important. No, I don't know Autumn. I don't know the Snyders. But every child is everybody's responsibility, not just the family and friends. We're all the guardian of children. That's the point I'm going to make at the end. So, we had another hour of Release the Snyder Cut, but naughty old Zack started it off before we were even ready. Because he posted a picture of Ray Fisher on it was a picture of him as Cyborg on The Snyder Cut, Justice League, not the Justice Cut, right? So then RT Snyder Cut goes when the boss says we go, we go. That confused me, but I assumed that's when we had to start tweeting Ray Fisher, release the Snyder Cut, AT&T, Warner Media. So I started. Then I noticed not many people were doing it. I think everyone was confused. Thankfully, RT Snyder Cut came in and people started tweeting. Now, this started to concern me that we weren't going to get the traction that we needed. But, oh boy, was I wrong. Over 70,000 tweets, right? Trending number 6. Freaking amazing. Don't forget, the studio is watching. Zach is watching. Zach knows we are almost there of getting his cut of Justice League released. That's why he's doing this. He's taking the lead now. This is brilliant. So he posts a picture, we start tweeting, and it wasn't just for an hour. I can tell you it was over an hour, and it was awesome. So many great people. So proud of this community. I'm so proud of you all. We are going to get this released. And for so many reasons, where we started and where we are now are two really different places. But it's not just a case of being successful with this. It's tweeting with other people. I love this dceu Snyder family that's been formed by accident. The camaraderie, the banter as we're tweeting, trying to head to this big figure so Warner Brothers can be convinced to release the Snyder Cut. We are a family now. We are a family. And I've made so many friends, and I'm sure you have, through this whole movement. It's not a toxic movement. Everyone loses it now and again with each other. We're passionate. But we are not a cult. We are just ordinary fans who took it upon ourselves to help our director, the man we look up to, get his vision out there. Because we loved his first 2 chapters in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Today, it's Jason Momoa. I have no idea on schedules or times, but look out for the tweet from RT Snyder Cut. I think on Sunday, we could ambitiously head for 100,000 tweets. We have to. We have to. That is the crux. This is the conclusion of the release of the Snyder Cut week. And then we wait on a decision. We may never hear anything. That's the reality. But from what I'm hearing, we will hear something. And it will be positive. Right. Now it's over to Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, and with Batman, there was something. I mean, it's a strange one for me. I mean, even my agents were like, I was very, very focused on it. I don't know why. It kind of just kept coming back into my head. And I was working. I mean, this is probably like 2 years ago. And even my agent was like, really? Because I normally, it's not really.
You wanted to do Batman, so you sought out the part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I not like sort it out.
No, but you were like interested.
I was interested.
You're like, if they're gonna do another Batman, I want to do it, or you knew they were gonna do another one.
I knew they were doing another one.
Okay.
And then it just really appealed to me, and there's just something. I don't know. There was definitely a part. I don't know what it is which happened inside me, but I was like, kind of want to do. It's a different feeling when you do something when you kind of know that there's an audience who has.
Yeah.
There's an anticipation from an audience that's already there, and it's a different kind of pressure. Like I like doing something which is kind of something which an audience doesn't know that it wants, and try to kind of get it out to them, and that's a whole different thing. But like, it's something it gets there's your competitive part, it's a competitive side as well, when you just know that there's everyone's kind of going like, oh yeah,
waiting.
Oh, you want to play Batman?
Yeah.
And it's literally like, and it's kind of fun. I mean, it's sort of it's the challenge of it is kind of interesting.
You're gonna be Batman.
And that's crazy.
It's so fun.
We were doing something else. Whenever I see the little action figure or something, I still haven't really got my head around it yet.
I think you'd be a great Batman, an awesome Batman. Seriously, because he's a dark character, huh?
You would be as well.
I would be Batman too. I can be Batman.
Yeah.
Why not? No, because I think he's actually has a lot of.
It's different as well. I mean, I have no interest whatsoever in playing someone who's heroic. The only time I want to play someone who an audience knows that they're supposed to like is when they really shouldn't like them. Right. That's the only time
But there's a drive to Batman of why he does what he does that I think as an actor would be fun to explore. Like, okay, what is all this?
Well. Now this has kicked off the Snyder community. It doesn't take much to kick us off, and I'll tell you why. Some of us decided that we should all boycott the Batman. You won't boycott the Batman. You and I both know that. So stop talking absolute bullshit, right? Stop it. You're not going to boycott this movie. You're as excited as this movie as I am. So let's listen to what's happened here. He said he's known about this project being in development for 2 years. Now, by the way, this isn't new, right? So we're in 2019, 2017. He's known about it for 2 years. So have we. Matt Reeves, yes, was announced when Jeff Johns and Berg was running it and Zack Snyder was still there. So Matt Reeves was appointed by the studio, by at the time, Sugihara. And there were problems at the time because Sugihara was saying to him that we want to be partly creating the narrative for what kind of movie it is. That Matt went away and said, listen, I need to have freedom. So they went back and said, listen, do what you want. We've seen your 8 movies. You're a genius. Come back. So he came back and he's been developing the movie for 2 years. It's one of the longest kind of writing development kind of journeys a writer's ever done on a movie. He really wanted to get his vision right. And I believe he's done that. But now Snyder stands have decided because it's been 2 years and Ben Affleck was still kind of in the role, there's some kind of betrayal. There's no betrayal. Listen to me. And this stupid rumour that John Aaron Garza started, he loves it, doesn't he? He loves it. Look, I love the guy, very talented, but he likes to stir the pot a bit. So let's talk about this so-called beef between Ben Affleck and Zack Snyder, first of all. No. Ben Affleck became frustrated because the studio, Kevin Sugihara, was pressuring the Justice League production to water it down, to keep on rewriting it. This is what happened. Now, Ben may have felt that Zack should have fought a bit stronger, but Zack was under a hell of a lot of pressure. There was no way. When a studio is pressuring you to water something down, ultimately, there's only so much you can fight, and Zack fought. He fought his heart out, bless him, but he couldn't. The ultimate reason that Ben is not Batman anymore, first of all, the studio wanted to move away from him, right? Because they wanted to move away from the Snyder situation. So Sugihara didn't want Affleck as Batman. Yeah, there he is. Looks beautiful, doesn't he? So that's one of the reasons, right? They then brought in Matt Reeves, who didn't want Affleck either. Of course, new director, new vision. He wanted to go with a younger Batman, kind of a year one story, which is where we're going. But third, and most important of all, ultimately, Ben was suffering with alcoholism, a terrible, brutal illness. There's no way at that time he could have continued. And Sugihara and Warner Brothers wanted to go. No one's betrayed Ben. Sugihara betrayed Zack. No question what happened with JL. No question. But no one betrayed this man. He didn't leave because he didn't want to play the character. He was forced out. Now, that's not a betrayal. That's Hollywood. Now, you can sit there and say, oh no, well, they took the opportunity away for us to see Ben's Batman in his own movie. Yes, I would have loved to have seen Ben's The Batman. Oh my God, with Deathstroke, it would have been awesome. And I'm so sad that it hasn't happened. But because Ben's still Batman in the DCEU, which he is, even though we don't see him, he's still that Batman because the Batman is going to be from another universe. So there's still an opportunity. This is what my opinion is. You guys can do whatever you want. As I've said before, we are not geeks and gamers. We are not fandom menace. We are not a dictatorship. Everyone has the right to do what they want. Each one of my subscribers, you are free and you don't need my permission to do what you want. But listen, be logical here. Why? If you're a DC fan, why would you boycott a film? Do you think if you boycott that film, it's going to flop? No. Do you think they're going to say, better bring Ben Affleck back? You're being too simplistic. No one was betrayed. He got to play Batman in a brilliant film called BVS. He then got to play Batman in a dumbed-down Frankenstein's monster, but his role was still, he did brilliant as the character. I think we still enjoyed him. And he had some great cameos in the Suicide Squad as well. All that's always going to be remembered, and we're always happy in BVS. And I think taking this negative stance isn't a good thing. So my personal opinion is I'm excited for Matt Reeves. I'm excited for all these brilliant castings that he's doing, and I have no kind of intention of boycotting a DC production. I'm sorry. I'm a DC fan first and foremost. Then a Zack Snyder fan, then a Ben Affleck fan. But I'm not boycotting anything for anyone. As much as I love you, Zack, and what they did to you was wrong, and hopefully we can remedy that with the release of the Snyder Cut, there is absolutely no way I'm boycotting DC content. I'm telling you my point of view. You can feel however you want, do what you want, but I think boycotting a DC film, like boycotting a Star Wars film, is stupid. Go and watch it, then you can decide if it's not good enough with an open mind. Always be open-minded. So that's my opinion on that. Now, Patrick Wilson has been talking. Mr. Aquaman, well, not Mr. Aquaman himself, but Mr. Aquaman movie himself. Of course, he played the villain in the Aquaman movie. Oh, he's been talking up Aquaman 2 and saying James Wan is going to go even further with this universe, making it a more ambitious movie. Now, there's a YouTube channel called Comic Book Cast, and they try to say there's a delay because of this interview. This is simply not true. Basically, we're going to have to wait till 2022, I think, for this film. I'm happy to wait. I'm happy to wait. We've got lots of other content, and I'm excited that Patrick Wilson is excited for what James Wan is doing. So there's that. Now, look what Amazon delivered to me today. This, my friends, is Superman Year One. Now, I ordered this. You know what Amazon are like. I don't even know when this was released in this country. But I ordered this at the beginning of the year. And I've been waiting for it, and I thought I was never going to get it. This is by the legend Frank Miller, John Romita Jr., with Danny Mixie and Alex Sinclair. They're all responsible for this. I don't know what this is about, but I knew it was a brand new Superman graphic novel. And this is actually the first Superman graphic novel I've ever bought. My fandom for Superman has been through the Reeve movies, Man of Steel, the DCEU, Smallville, but I've never picked up a comic. So this is my first graphic novel. So what I'm going to do here is, not on this video, but later on, I'm going to post a video. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this to you via a video. Not all of it. We'll do it chapterized, right, every day. And I'm hoping that some new comic book fans come out of this. We can read it together and enjoy it together. So that'll be happening a little bit later on. Now it's time for a very somber moment as we remember Autumn Snyder. There are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people suffering with mental health instability. Now, I don't know Autumn's story. I didn't know Autumn. But as I said on the top of the show, every child in this world is our responsibility. I have a great relationship with my nephews and nieces. I like to think I would know if they were depressed. I worry about a couple of them, I'll be honest, and I hope in the future they'll be okay. Because everyone's different and everyone's affected by life, whether you're a child or an adult, in different ways. Autumn Snyder tragically took her life. Now you're saying, Mick, this is a DC kind of video. Why is this relevant? It's very relevant. It's very relevant to everyone who's a fan of Zack and Deb, who's a fan of Zack's DCEU to understand. I've just recently lost my mum a month ago, and she was 77. Imagine losing a daughter. Imagine that. And having all those questions. Did I do something wrong? Did I miss something? A natural thing a parent would think. Zack and Deb Snyder have done nothing but be graceful to their fans and thank us for being there for them by supporting the Release the Snyder Cut campaign. While these two people have had to go through the devastation of losing a daughter. But not just losing a daughter by something that couldn't be helped. A horrible affliction, which is suicide. Suicide is the worst thing because you always think you could have done more. This was their child. This was their baby. Imagine that. I don't know. I've never known anyone as family or a child to take their own life. I've known kind of younger adults, but not someone of Autumn's age. As I say, I don't know Autumn. But this is really massive because this movement has helped fund suicide prevention. And that's an amazing thing. And I know we did it with the best of intentions. And I know that Zach puts money into a charity. I'm not sure if it's his own charity he created. So Zach is very grateful, I'm sure. We don't want your gratitude, Zach. What you went through was terrible. Terrible. And then to lose your daughter and to be thrown off a project and then allegedly have your daughter's death as the reason for you leaving the project when allegedly it probably wasn't. I don't know how you've kept your mind. I don't know. I'm sure behind closed doors there's been some really tough times. And I mean, who can understand that? But today I just want us to think about this week and what we're doing towards this goal of releasing the Snyder Cut. And think about and remember what the Snyders could be going through. And of course we don't know that because we haven't lost our daughter, right? And to think with them and to be with them and to remember how important this cause is to them. This matters to them. They are genuine. And we have joined hands with them to help them reach this goal because they deserve to be back shaping the future of the dceu. They're wonderful creatives. Deb is a wonderful woman, a strong, intelligent woman who's obviously a brilliant wife as well. I've got lots of respect for Deb Snyder, by the way. I think she's brilliant. Absolutely. Really talented woman in her own right. But they're a wonderful couple, and what they went through is horrible, horrible. And you know what, Deb and Zach? Your grief and your devastation of what you've been through because of the loss of Autumn has captured people's imaginations. Not in a ghoulish way. We feel for you. We genuinely feel for you. And we feel for you because you were taken off something you should never have been taken off of. You came into work every day. You wanted to do the job. You cared about what you were giving us. And because a bunch of bloggers wanted DC Films to be like the MCU, you were pushed away. Because everything has to make $1 billion. Everybody has to like everything, or nobody likes everything. That's the kind of world Hollywood has become now. But this fight, Deb and Zach, means so much to us. And I know it means so much to you. It's important. It matters because you did not deserve to have what happened to you, either in the loss of Autumn or in the loss of your baby. Both babies, the dceu, which is less important than your real baby, Autumn. As I say, I lost my mother. And this house is her personality. It's really difficult. My mum was really green-fingered. And this morning I was picking some mandarins. It's something she used to get me to do. And I was in tears at 6:30 in the morning doing this. Who knows how you feel? Because at least the old have had their lives. At least they've had enjoyment. But a child taking their own life and you being the parent and then being thrown off a project because of something that wasn't your fault, because of political situations within the entertainment industry is disgusting. And then to see what Joss Whedon did to your project, Zach, must have been heartbreaking. But we've got you, Zach. We've got you, Deb. We are going to cradle you in our arms and we are going to say, we've got you. And we are going to take this over the finish line. And yes, my friends, because you are my friends, even though I don't know you, we are going to release the Snyder Cut. So today, everyone, as you're tweeting and hashtagging release the Snyder Cut, hold Autumn close to your hearts and remember what the Snyders truly lost.